Okay, everybody, we have a deal made here in the Senate. Chuck Schumer just announced that they have made an agreement to fund the government until February 18th of 2022. So they still have to vote on this and pass it, but they've come to an agreement. And here's Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer on the Senate floor this afternoon.
Madam President, I begin this morning with some good news. I'm happy to say that last night I reached an agreement with Leader McConnell, the Speaker, and the Chair of the House Appropriations Committee and the Senate Appropriations Committee on a continuing resolution that will keep the federal government funded through mid-February of next year. This is a good compromise that allows an appropriate amount of time for both parties in both chambers to finish negotiations on appropriations. As I said, this is a good compromise that allows an appropriate amount of time for both parties in both chambers to finish negotiations on appropriations. This morning, the House will start the process to take up this government funding measure, and we hope they can have it passed through their chamber by the end of today. Unfortunately, it seems Republican dysfunction could be a roadblock to averting an unnecessary and dangerous government shutdown. Democrats and most Republicans, including the Republican leader, have said they don't want to see a Republican shutdown. We hope cooler heads will prevail. But just as we saw with the NDAA, a few individual Republican senators appear determined to derail this important legislation because of their opposition to the president's life-saving vaccine guidelines critical to healing our country in the middle of a pandemic. Let's be clear, if there is a shutdown, it will be a Republican anti-vaccine shutdown. Democrats want to get the government funded as soon as possible. It was not easy to reach this deal. It took a while to get Republican leadership on board, but I'm glad that we've gotten it done. I thank my colleagues on the other side of the aisle for working with us to find a path forward. Now all that's left are a few lone holdouts raising objections that are doomed to fail and which can be debated elsewhere. There's no reason we should have a Republican shutdown. I have worked with the Republican leader on an agreement that will avoid one. Now, again, I hope cooler heads will prevail on the other side so we can keep the government funded before tomorrow's deadline.